So where were we?
Okay, so you were talking about your three. You said three.
Yep,
Okay.
3 mixtapes.
That's really cool that you're doing three. And so, what was your recording process on those?
So 2017, I just spent the whole year in the studio and I recorded like 50 or 60 songs. And then I took like 30 of them that I really liked. And I was like, okay, I can pick the best 10 and like put them out or send them to labels and hope I get signed or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I can like just put them out because fuck it. And oh, sorry, I don't know if you want me
Oh
swearing.
no, it's
I have a
look,
really bad
we're
potty
all
mouth.
we're all natural here.
So yeah, I just decided like, why not just put them out and like grow? Because I spent a really large part of my career with this massive catalog of hundreds of songs and never putting anything out because I was so afraid of like making the wrong moves or not having the right team, or the people around me were like, oh no, don't put out music. And I was just tired of it. And I was like, I need to put something out. So I decided to drop 30 of my favorites, and then the rest we just pitched for like film and TV and other artists and stuff. Because when I'm writing, like I go through really hardcore writing phases, and when I'm in those phases, I write so much. Like, so I just figure it's better to have it out than have it sitting on a computer. And then there's obviously some like standout tracks in there that we chose as singles to sort of focus on each project. But yeah, I thought that would be like a cool way to grow my foundation for my future. And so far it's been really good. I also produce on a lot of the music. So I have these two co-writers. Let me back up. In 2016, I dropped a mixtape that I made in my bedroom. Okay. I wrote and produced it, mixed it, mastered it, like everything totally by myself on Logic in my room. And it was called Burning in the Dark. And then I was like overworking by myself because I was like, okay, I'm bored of my own ideas. I need to work with some new people. And I ended up meeting this kid named Taylor at a writing session. And then one of my best friends, Zoe, is an incredible writer. And we just formed a little squad and we like turn out music super fast. And they both have really similar like musical minds to me. So if I'm like working on a loop and I send it to Taylor, he knows exactly what to add to it that I would add to it. And it's cool because it gives me more time to just focus on being the artist and figuring out what I want to say and how to say it. Working with people who get you is like, it's very hard to find as a new artist, especially like finding good chemistry. And we just found chemistry and we ran with it. So it's been really great.
So that's really cool. So you do write by yourself?
Oh, all the time. Yep.
But do you find that it helps you when you're writing with other people to kind of, it brings out something in you?
Yeah, like I think the energies, I sound corny, but I'm sensitive to energy in the room, you know? So like having certain energies in the room matters, and it brings a different vibe than maybe I bring by myself. And I think that's important if I'm trying to expand and grow, because if I'm just by myself all the time, like I can only get so far. I have to bring in other ideas and inspirations and stuff.
Yeah, I get it. That's really cool. I like people who write by themselves, but also are not too kind of pig-headed to say, like, you know what, maybe someone else could bring something to the team. I like that.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I'm really picky about who I write with. Like, I have to really like their vibe. But when I find those people, I feel like it always just goes most of the time it goes really well. So
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
your tattoos are fucking awesome, by the way.
What?
Your tattoos are sick.
Oh, thank you. I know. I have too many. Tell me about your TikTok challenge. I've seen like so many people just going crazy over that.
Yeah, it's fun. I wanted to learn as much as I could about TikTok because I just feel like it's important to understand as a platform for what's next.
Yes.
So I decided to try out doing a challenge, and we had a bunch of people do it. It's awesome. I actually just had some issues with I'm switching distributors, so the song got taken down for a few days, but it should be back up in the next couple of days. It was like the worst timing. I was like, no.
Oh my God. Yeah, it seems they're doing so good. I saw like every single person was on there doing it.
We might relaunch it here in the next week or two once the song's back up and everything's together. But yeah, it was really funny. Like originally it was just a dance, and then it morphed into like this comedy thing where people are like putting stuff in their pants. It was like so funny and goofy, and I'm happy like it brought so many people joy. It was great.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was enjoying watching them.
That's funny, right?
Yeah, it was really cool and funny. Okay, so another thing I want to know is who does your cover art? Because that is, like you said, the superhero thing is super cool. I like it.
Thank you. Um, so I do the photos usually in like a cyclorama room, just like a white backdrop,
Mm-hmm.
with my photographer who works for me full time. He does my content with me. And then we send it to this artist. His name is Kaethor, Kaethor on Instagram. We met on Instagram. Like I just found him scrolling and looking for artists. And he's really amazing. And I just tell him what I want, and he sort of takes it to the next level and adds all the effects and everything. So it's been like a good collaboration with him.
That's really cool. I love it. That's one of the first things that drew me to you was like you had this like women like superhero empowerment thing, and you know that's what I'm all about with my page. So
Yeah, how did you? I know this. I'm not supposed to ask you questions, but I'm curious of like how you got into this too.
oh my god, that's fine. I mean, listen, this is more of like a I know like traditional interviewers just like ask questions, but this is more of like a girl talk. Let's spill the tea kind of thing, you know. um, I I love music. I love music industry. I've been working like doing like different things, like you know how we all bounce around here, here, and here. And I noticed that nobody was doing it. I mean, I see a couple pages doing. I saw like Women in Rock is a really cool page, but they only do like rock music.
Oh,
Um,
right.
and like you know, just a few other pages. They have a really specific niche, but there wasn't really someone who does like everybody. At least not someone who's really active. So I thought it would be really cool to just kind of go in there and pick out really cool. And I'm really picky too. Like I don't just post to everybody. I pick out really specific artists that I think are doing a really cool job, that have a really specific presence. And yeah.
I love that. And why women? Why did you feel like you wanted to do it specifically for women?
Well, it's just it's one of those things like women need more help. You know, there's those percentages I can't name off the top of my head, but there's only, you know,
Oh,
this many versus this many men in the music industry, and they need help. They need a
right.
voice more, I guess. I don't know. So I thought it was a good
No,
cause.
I feel you. It is a good cause. It's so important, and I think people outside the music industry don't understand like how much more difficult it is for us, especially in music, in such a shallow culture that we're working in, which is weird because you think like, okay, it's music, it should be like deep and emotional, but a lot of the times it's not. A lot of the times it's shallow, and we're judged a lot more for shallow things than men in music are.
I mean, totally. It's like if you don't have a certain image, if you don't have a certain sexuality to you or something, you're not going to get put. I mean, how many women like Lizzo are there? One, two. You know, I mean, it's a thing, you know, and it shouldn't be judged on that. It should be judged on how good you are. How good are your songs? You know, like that's the forefront. I don't know, but that's just me.
No, you're totally 100% right. That's 100% right. I have been in so many meetings and situations where they're talking about everything except my music, and it's a music meeting, and
Yeah.
I'm looking at them like, what does this have to do with my music? Like I'm getting closer and closer to the point where I just walk out of the room because I'm like, my tits don't have anything to do with my music. My Instagram following doesn't have to do with how good my music is. Like, do you like the music or do you not like the music? And that's really what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, it's like, especially as a female producer, like I've been in meetings before and had men say like, oh, we love this song, who produced it? And then I'll say I did. And then it's like, oh, the song's okay. You know?
Yes, and you know
Like,
what I saw the other day? It was like it was a meme that said it was I think it was Kesha, and it said something like people will always say this is Kesha, she worked with so and so, and she wants to say like why does it have to be followed by that sentence? Why can't it
right.
just be like I work?
Right.
You know? So I get it. I mean, it's always there's always this like stigma on like deep.
It's all good. I could talk about that all day long.
I know, and it's always like you were saying, like, why is it not just about your music? Why do you have to go in meetings and say, how many social media followers? Which I get it. Social media is so big nowadays, you have to base things off of that because that's how we base off who's popular nowadays.
Right.
But it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be. I agree with you.
I was talking to Zoe today about how so much of the music business is like a catch-22. It's like, oh, we'll make you famous once you're famous. Or like, oh, we'll give you a publishing deal when you get a hit, but you can't get a hit without a publishing deal. So it's like, it's things like that where it's like they sort of set you up to like keep it as small of a circle at the top as they possibly can. And I understand why, but it's like, it's really interesting. Like it kind of, we were saying today, like it reminds us of high school a little bit. Like when you're in, you're in. And then it's like when if you don't want to play the game that way, it's kind of like people look at you sideways like, why are you not, following all the rules here?
And even from the other side, because I'm not a singer or musician, but the other side, it's a clique. There's a music industry in Nashville, LA, New York, and Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Maybe a little bit Austin. And it's a clique. There's such a small, tiny little circle. Everybody knows each other. Mm-hmm. And that's just how it is. And yeah, it is like a tight catch-22, like you're not famous to be famous. Everything you're saying. 100% true.
And it's like, that's why people fake it till they make it. But it's like faking so it's hard for real people to like make it because a lot of real people were not willing to fake it,
Yes. And you know what? You should keep doing that. Because in the end, the funny thing is, those are the people that end up making it. The people that wouldn't conform, the people that eventually just got popular because they were just so good.
Yeah.
And people like them.
Hard, like.
Yeah, and they work hard. They never give up.
That's a big thing too. It's like last man standing,
Yes.
I've been at it for 11 years and I've seen so many people in that time like come and go and come and go and come and go, and like I'm really proud of myself that I'm still here and I'm still like working really hard, and that's such a huge deal. It's just like resilience, which if anyone watches this back and is like trying to make it, that's my biggest advice, is like have resilience, because hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Man, and that's what I always try to tell people is like hard work beats anything in this business. You could have the greatest talent in the world, and it sucks for managers and stuff like that because we'll want to represent those people that have the greatest talent, but sometimes they have no work ethic at all. And they just don't try. And I'm like, why?
That's crazy to me. I think because I manage myself, so in my mind, I'm like, the idea of having if I could offload half of my work to like a manager, I will be so thrilled. And so the idea of like having a whole team and still being lazy, I'm like, how?
Yeah.
I think I have like a different level of gratitude than most artists though, because I've like been in so many bad deals and had so many like difficult sort of things happen in my career that like I think when something good does happen or when I have a good team member, I don't take it for granted. Like I work extra hard, and I think there's just like a lot of people who don't know how good they have it.
It's true. I mean, listen, it's a thing. It's like you either want it or you don't. And I think the people, even people, unfortunately, with the talent, sometimes they just don't want it bad enough and they waste it. I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, tell me what else you've been working on. Have you been writing songs and stuff in quarantine?
Yes, I've been doing a lot of collabs, like EDM collabs and different kind of collabs, just to expand my my reach. And there's so many great artists with awesome reach, and it's thought like, why not work together and see if we can come up with something cool. So that's been really fun, and I have a bunch of those dropping later this year. And then I've been like, I just had a song drop Ego Overdose with Basomorph just dropped, and that was really fun. That was like a collab I did. And then I have been writing and then planning for Sapphire. I'm taking a little bit longer to plan this project because, sorry, I'm reading comments and getting distracted.
I know, I'm trying to.
Yeah, I've taken a little bit longer. I'm really planning this one out really well because I think this is the best mixtape of the three. So I'd really like to like maximize this one and make it as amazing as I possibly can. So I've been doing like a lot of like planning work as well.
Right, and that's good. That's what I mean. That's all you can do. Have you had anything that be canceled because of this or move back?
Yeah, like this threw off a lot of my plans because now that I'm not in LA, like everything that I needed to shoot in LA, I have to shoot out of town, which means like finding locations in a new town, and stuff like that. But I'm kind of low-key really excited about it because I know that like the locations I'm gonna have for my videos are like no one else is gonna have them. They're gonna be like, where the fuck is that? And I'm excited because I'm not gonna tell anybody where I am. I'm gonna say like, I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of cool though, because like no one will know because you're not in LA and it's not like the generic LA spots.
Right, like there's like 10 places where everyone shoots, and I'm like, none of our locations are going to be those places. So I'm happy it'll be unique.
So Ryan Hicks wants to know, for a new listener, what would you recommend? Like say like the first 2 songs you'd ever want someone to hear.
In general audience really likes Freedom and Psycho. I think those are 2 good songs to introduce you to my catalog, for sure. You think so too?
Yeah, I like that. I really that song Psycho. I was trying to play. Something was wrong with my laptop. I was trying to play before you came in, like, here, listen, but it didn't work.
Oh, it's all good.
It's fine. Oh my god, hold on. I'm trying to wave to everybody. This is another new thing that people have to worry about is like reading comments and trying to engage with everybody while listening to what the artist is saying while trying to ask questions.
I do lives for like hair tutorials for my influencing work, and I'll tell you, like, answering questions and doing your hair at the same time, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Luckily I'm kind of used to it by now, but yeah, I remember the learning curve for it. It takes a minute.
Oh my goodness. And that's why I'm not a musician, because I can't multitask. I cannot sing and play guitar or anything. Oh my goodness. Did you have any performances, or were you just working on releasing the EPs and stuff?
I was planning a really amazing performance. Sorry, I'm distracted. Yeah, I was planning like the most beautiful acoustic set ever, and it was, oh man, I'm so bummed it got pushed back, but it's all good. So I'll probably shoot that next month or the month after now, but it was originally going to be shot right now. But it's all right. It's all good.
I don't know. It's a thing on the bottom. I don't know. Like I said, I'm learning. This page wasn't really meant for this. I am a photographer. I do videos. I go out to live shows, and I wanted to bring people kind of like LA new artists, like, you know, women and things like that. But now it's like I'm doing reposts and stuff because it's all I can do. So I was like, well, what else can I do? Oh, I can interview upcoming, you know, female artists, and that's cool.
I love it.
So excuse my poor interview skills, but hey, we're just having girl chat. That's what I like to do.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm happy that we can talk about things that matter. I think sometimes in like more formal interviews, you can't talk about the stuff you actually want to talk about, you know?
And I don't like those. Just in my opinion, like, I don't want to know what made you become an artist. I want to know, like, what you're doing. What have you watched in quarantine?
Watch, like, on Netflix?
Like, what's your binge watch?
I watched Tiger King.
Oh, God.
It was great.
You know what?
I enjoyed it.
Tiger King is one of the funniest things in the world to me, because I grew up, and I'm going to not tell this long story, but my father was called the Alligator King, and he was pretty much very close to that experience. So that's why I'm like, everyone telling me about Tiger King, and I'm like, it's okay. It's all right. Try living my life.
Like, I've lived this already.
Yeah, I'm like, that's good. It's fine. I don't need to see this. I keep waving to people, and it switches my camera for some reason, but okay.
Oh, good. Wow. Yeah, Tiger King's crazy. I definitely binged that. And honestly, I haven't like I'm not good at watching TV because I just sit there anxiously thinking about everything I should be doing.
Yeah.
Or I'll just have it on while I'm working. Like I've liked having like Ellen on from her house while I'm working.
Like in the background.
Yeah, she's been basically doing her show from home, and it's pretty cute. She's the best.
Yeah, I know. See, I'll do that sometimes too. I'll just have the TV in the background. But I'm not a big TV person. I get too, like, I'm like you. I'm like, I need to be productive. What can I be doing?
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to learn how to rest, but it's hard. Like, I think I don't want to say it's anxious, what am I trying to say?
just anxiety.
Yeah, like I think I'm really driven by anxiety of like I gotta get this done, I gotta get this done. So I'm trying to work more from a place of like peace and like taking a little more time between my activities. But man, it's really hard, especially because I've been like that since I was a kid. Like I just am very go go go.
But that's good. That's why you're gonna make it. I'm just
Yeah,
calling
it's
it
good
here.
for my success, bad for my health.
I know. It is, but it's okay. I mean, because once you're successful, hopefully you'll be able to chill out in your big mansion and.
We'll see. I don't imagine myself being the kind of successful artist that like kicks it. I imagine myself like working that much harder, I think, because
You're gonna keep going.
yeah, because I have lofty goals and so many things that I'm like halfway decent at that I need to be great at, and like just so many things I need to work on. So I think I'm too driven to like just get successful and then kick it.
I get it. I'm like that too. It's a like you said in the beginning, it's a blessing and a curse.
Right. Sorry, I'm pulling up my Spotify.
Oh, you're fine. How's Spotify been? Have they been putting you on the playlists?
Yeah, for sure. I got like a million New Music Fridays, and like I just was on New Music Friday Germany, which was really cool. That was like one of the bigger ones I've been on. But it is weird, like being unsigned. Like I think having the connects definitely helps. I mean, I'm not for sure. I'm not totally sure, but it seems like it does. So it's been interesting, like seeing the ups and downs, and also like learning about different independent curators that can be so amazing. Like they could be just as amazing as Spotify playlists. So that's been like a huge learning curve too.
The funny thing is how much pull Spotify has on whether you get your songs heard or not nowadays.
Yeah, like a lot of things depend on the algorithm. So a lot of like what I do, I'm basing on Spotify algorithms and stuff like that.
Do you know, like, is that, so that's a thing you consider before you release a song? Like, is this going to hit on those algorithms?
Yeah, so a lot of people go with a 6-week cycle because that's the best thing for the algorithm for releases. But I decided for Ruby to do like 1 week dropping every Friday for, I think I did 8 songs in a row. To see if that impacted the algorithm, and it definitely did. So like dropping regularly has a huge impact too.
The Facts About Nature says, any good songs you recommend on Spotify? We answered that. Psycho.
Yeah, Psycho, Fall is another one that I've been really into lately.
I love that. That's so good. So I saw that you got 1 million views on your YouTube. I forget which song it was though.
I have a couple of videos that have 1 million views actually.
That's an insane milestone.
Yeah, I guess it is.
You didn't think about that? Like, dang, like most video, I mean, you can go on any like independent artist videos and they'll be like 6,000, 40,000, 1 million. That's crazy, man. You're blowing up.
Well, with Freedom, I got really lucky because I got on this huge channel called Mr. Suicide Sheep that supported the song, and that's really what gave Freedom like a massive boost across the board, because they also have like a lot of playlists on Spotify, and then a lot of other channels like repost the song, and I think that's like a good song. So I feel like a good song is kind of magic. So
Yes.
We also
it should be.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome, man. So what do you think about it? I mean, you think about kind of, because you're like there, you're halfway there. Like, what do you think about, like, I'm doing it and I'm actually getting somewhere. All this hard work's paying off.
It's it's funny to hear you say that because 99% of the time I feel the opposite. I'm like, oh my
Really?
gosh, this is so hard and it takes so long. And yeah, I'm very impatient and my goals are very high. And I think like I'm always thinking about like what's my potential. So I'm always comparing myself to where I hope to be. And when I look at where I hope to be, I'm like, oh my God, I have so far to go.
Right.
But sometimes, some days I feel amazingly successful. So it really depends on the day. It's sort of catching me on a week where I've been like, ugh, especially during quarantine. It's like an extra level of ugh. But I do feel like extremely blessed, and usually if I'm doing well mentally, because I have some mental health challenges, when I'm doing well, I try to root myself in gratitude and just be like, okay, I get to wake up today, I get to make music, which nobody gets to do, and like that is the baseline for success, like that I get to wake up and make music, and that makes me successful, and everything else, the numbers, the bullshit, like that's gonna fluctuate however it's gonna fluctuate, but I get to like wake up and make music. And so as long as I'm just being really grateful for that, that's kind of where I root myself. Because if I focus on like, oh, I'm doing really well this week, then I'll hit a week where I do worse. And then my emotions are just like up, down, up, down. So I have to really have like a good baseline. And usually I'm finding that the baseline is gratitude.
And that's good, as long as that's your baseline. Because especially in quarantine, people are going through ups and downs. I told myself when this all started, I was like, you're going to have bad days, man. You're going to have bad days. But you know what? As long as you have that baseline positivity, you'll be okay. Just realize those bad days are just gonna be bad days, and they're gonna move on by the wayside.
Yes, absolutely. That's something I try to do too a lot, like just separate myself from my feelings, which is great for my mental health. Like being able to just say, like, maybe today I feel discouraged and I feel like nothing's happening or something like negative like that. But I know that that's not actually true. It's just my hormones, and like feelings are literally just hormones. So it's like hormones are going to fluctuate however they're going to fluctuate, but I can stay strong if I know like it's just feelings, and the truth is that I'm doing great, and I try to just stay focused on what's true and not how I feel.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm replying to see, I can't. I can't. But yeah, I mean, well, is that the thing? Like, has it been hard on you, harder during quarantine to stay positive, or you're just kind of like in the same, like, I gotta work hard, I gotta do, like, living it day by day?
I think I'm an introvert, so I love being at home and I love being creative. So in a way, it's been kind of like I've appreciated this time because no one's bothering me as much as I shouldn't say bothering me. People aren't hitting me up as much as they usually would be, which makes me more able to just like focus on my creativity and focus on writing music and not worry about replying to a million emails and going to a million events and stuff. So to me, I kind of like quarantine because I can just be inside and be creative and not have to wear pants, which is like a huge thing.
Finally, someone who understands me. I was like, listen, I love all my friends and I miss you all, but I'm kind of feeling like there's no social pressure to hang out with someone.
Right.
You know, you can just hang, like, the cool thing is, you can remain friends in this time and not feel any social pressure to hang out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an introvert's dream come true because you can just like talk to somebody on the phone for an hour. Don't have to get ready for the day. Like, this is the first time I put on makeup in like forever.
Me too. It feels good, and it feels like it's kind of sad in a way because I'm like, I wish I had somewhere to go, but at the same time, I'm like, I could just put my jammies on after this, and you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's
cool.
just about finding the positives, I think. For
sure. I mean, yeah, for sure. So what's the first thing you're going to do after this is all done with?
Ooh, I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about it at all. I'm more thinking about like, I gotta shoot this, I gotta finish recording that and get this mastered and this mixed, and that's usually what I'm thinking about day to day. I haven't really been planning for like, should I go party and go out to dinner? I'm sure I'll want to go out to eat. That would be nice.
Just keep on moving.
Yeah, exactly. I should have
That's,
just focused on the day I'm on.
yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Thanks.
Okay, so another thing I've noticed is that you're doing Tumblr stuff. So tell me all about that.
Oh, that's just for fans. Like I think they can upload like their favorite photos so that they have content to post on their like fan pages and stuff. So I'm not really running out.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. I used to do Tumblr, but no one read it, so I was like,
Yeah, I think Tumblr is like it's kind of weird to grow on Tumblr. Like I don't know that much about the space, and I had one and I was never using it. So I was like, why don't I just give this to them and they can upload whatever they want and have their content, and I'm not gonna. I just don't have enough time to like run every little thing. So
that's really cool. I mean, I like it. It's kind of like a fans only experience.
yes, exactly. The Empire page.
So what are you doing day by day? Like I know, like you said, you're just living day by day. So what are you doing? Like writing, just like planning.
So I have sort of a schedule I made myself, which is like I get up usually like 7, go if I'm on track for my day. I work out, eat breakfast. I usually warm up my voice and I practice. I'm like working on, like I said, my set, so practicing. And then recording. Usually I have stuff I have to record, or going through mixes and masters has been a big thing I've been doing because I'm finishing up my third project now. And then I have like a shitload of business stuff I have to do every day. So like a bunch of boring emails and replying to comments and things like that. And then the rest of the day is like if I get all that done, I'm thrilled because it usually ends up taking like all day.
That's awesome. So you have like basically a full day of stuff.
Yeah, I mean I've always worked from home. So I'm used to like building a schedule for myself. So it's like luckily I had some practice before quarantine started.
You were built for this. You're like, I got this, y'all.
I'm trying. I mean, I have off days for sure. Like the last couple days, I've had a few off days. Like I sent like a lot of emails to different team members that I was looking for, and I got some responses that I was bummed out about because I got like I got no's this week, which is a huge part of making music is like getting no's and getting rejections. And you just have to keep knocking on doors until you find the right one for you. So like that kind of threw me off this week, and I had like a couple days where I was sort of down because of that. And like I'm trying to just do some self-care. Like, okay, I don't take days off. Like I don't have weekends or anything. So I said like I'll take like a half day off like yesterday. And I try to like, so it's not always like rigorous and crazy. I wish it was. That'd be great if I could live up to my own expectations, but I can't.
I mean, that's the thing is like I'm like I already said, I'm like you, but even with 1,000 projects a day, I'll get through them all and it'll still be like 2 p.m.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
I wish
so
that was my problem. I'll
I'm
trick
just like
you.
I'm like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, because I don't know. I guess I get up really early and then I immediately just start going. So I'm like, it's 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and I'll be like, what's next?
Right. I used to have that feeling a lot when I was getting started in music because I'd be like, okay, I went to the studio. Like, what do I do now? Like, I just didn't know what to do. And I think just like showing up, I would make an effort, just like sit at the computer and be like, okay, think of something to do. And then I would think of something to do. And that's actually how I started like most of my coolest stuff is just like from having the discipline to be like, I'm going to sit here until I figure out what the fuck to do. You come up with something. So I think like that was really helpful for me.
Who produced your, did you already say, who produced your EPs that you're releasing? Did you say you did it yourself?
I do them together with my co-writers. So I have Taylor, who is my co-producer, and then Zoe, who is my co-writer. And all of the lines kind of blur. We all do a little bit of everything. So we just say we create them together because we're all writers and producers.
That's really cool. I love that. You really are like independent. You're super
I'm
independent.
fully independent. I pay for everything myself. I'm a
Dang.
self-funded bitch.
That's
Um,
so cool. And that's gonna be even cooler when you like get super, super, super big because you're already like you're there, man. You're already like so good. But when you get like that super stardom level, you're gonna be like, I did this myself.
yeah, I think things like they mean a lot more to me than maybe they would mean to another artist. Like a playlist that I get, I'm like, oh my God, I got this playlist, and I knew that I had to email like 100 playlists to get this one that I really wanted, and like things like that that are little and small to other artists, they mean a lot more to me because I put in the work.
You put in the work and you did it yourself. Like I was saying, like a lot of these artists don't do any work and they expect their managers to just kind of do everything. And it's really cool to me. I didn't know that you managed yourself. That's a feat.
Oh, it's not by choice.
No.
It's not by choice. Like, I'd like to have the right manager, but I'm very, very, well, I guess it is by choice. Like, I'm very picky. So I've had a lot of managers because I started when I was a teenager, right? So I had a lot of managers come into my story and like try to control me and try to tell me who to be and what to do and what to wear and how skinny I need to be. And like, it just turned me off so much to people having a say in my life because it was so bad for my mental health to have people trying to control me like all the time. And I'm sort of a free thinker, so having people tell me what to do is like horrible for me, especially if I'm trying to thrive. So finding like a manager that respects my boundaries and like respects me enough to like let me do what I want to do, is
Yeah.
like it's been challenging because I've
So
been
you need like a man. You basically need one of those marriages, like the manager that supports like kind of everything you do, but at the same time constructive criticism, but not the kind that's gonna try to change you or anything like that. You know.
right, like that they just help facilitate me thriving and not try to like shrink me, but just allow me to be the best that I can be. I think
Yes.
that's hard to find though, because especially for women, like you know how it is, people meet us, usually men, and then they're
Mhm.
like, okay, how can I make this what I think it should be, instead of being like, how can I help build on this vision that the artist has? It's very
Yes.
different ways of doing business.
And as we were saying in the beginning, man, as a woman, that's really hard because you get into this industry and the only thing they see, the first thing they see is your looks.
Right.
The second thing they'll see is like, does she already have a following?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe they'll look at, are you actually even good? Are you actually even talented but they're not looking to see if you're talented, if you have good songs. They're looking to see if you're talented so they can mold you into what they see.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's,
And I'm hard to mold. I'm
and
pretty.
and that's my biggest thing, and the thing I love most about anybody like you is that you stick to your guns and you do what you want to do and you make it work and you work hard and you get fans and you do what you want to do.
Thank you.
So that's really cool. And I'm going to end it there because we have 10 minutes left, because if you didn't know, Instagram has an hour limit of how
It
long
does?
it does. You can only go live for an hour.
That's lame.
Yeah. So that's cool because I mean I don't know how many people want us to hear us talking shit for an hour, but
Right. It's all
but
good.
anyway, this was really cool, and thank you so much for doing this. And I also want to thank my followers. I just hit a 2,000. I just started this a couple months ago, and I already have 2,000 followers. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's gonna watch this back later. And hello to all you M in Real Life fans.
I'm sure they'll be watching back.
Yeah, I know. People always watch back.
It's all good. They can skip around.
Thank you so much. Do you go by just M? I searched you on Apple Music and I just saw M.
Yeah, it's just M. M in real
Okay.
life is just my social media.
Just the social media. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Thank you so much, M. I love you so much. I love what you do. I love what you're doing. I love your music. You are super cool. Thank you for doing the interview.
I appreciate you. I hope you stay safe and healthy during quarantine.
You too.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.